about the white man who gave it in the medical center where he was flown to. So maybe he's not well to speak the way he's speaking. He's not well. He's using battery. It's not normal. A man who is using battery and a man who has a natural eye, compare the two. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. So Joseph Boyka, the former vice president, speaking, he's using battery. He's a battery total. Such a man cannot even be president of this country. He said, so maybe that the frustration making to speak the way he did, calling the president boy. How many million people voted that boy? So many millions. Look at this boy and you elected him. Maybe you call Joshua boy because of the age, because Joseph Boyka is over 70 and this boy is about 50 something. So when you say boy, well, that's it. But boy in the sense of immaturity, no. Joshua is mature. He's mature. That's why he told Joseph Boyka on the ground where he collapsed to fly here, bro, for medical checkup, for medical heart surgery. That's what made him to live today. I think Joseph Boyka, in conclusion, should be very grateful to that boy who flew in out of the country for open heart surgery that make him to live today. But the way Joseph Boyka speaks, the way he acts, he is one of the 9 ungrateful lepers. The fact is, you could have know you, but he did not. He saved this old man. But what the old man is returning is ungratefulness. Call this president boy. You call the whole Liberian president boy, then you old man, you told him battery around here. But I cannot look at a battery man and he let you. Because any minute you could collapse. But you always say you want to be president and we know your record. You're on the time bomb, on the borderline.
Just sitting and laughing and reading the comment section. John Balu said the reason why he's in this is to save the state. Save Liberia. But Senator Balu was senator when in his county, 5 wonderful Liberians gruesomely murdered. Their bodies were mutilated. He didn't say anything. A colleague who was then a senator, whose name is enshrined in the TRC report, whose testimony you can find everywhere, that allegedly carried out a massacre on the Kavala River, became a senator from in jail. He came from jail. The kids died in Maryland. Senator Balu was senator. Senator Balu was senator when Kid Juba was killed. Senator Balu was senator when the Fula man was beheaded in River G. Senator Balu was senator when the 17 young men were killed between Lower Magidi and Grand Bassa County. Senator Balu was senator when one of the people who funding all of his effort was giving Enter-Janet Hosmer money and squash car to love it for him to move on traveling ban and access free. But today, we say he wants to save the country. Senator Balu was senator when Bridgeway from London came to do prospect in Liberia. Senator Balu then got vehicle and money.
Balu, that Brian, the senator.
He retired on saving Liberia then. Sometimes some people.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, that was is a thief. It's a thief. I'm telling you, it's a thief. Anybody who lie on what you talk, he had checked here. We published no checks before. He denied a signature on those checks before 2020 campaign. He's a common criminal. I'm saying that to you. He's a common criminal. That's the budget he voted for. He's a criminal because he lied at $3.6 million is not in the budget. He can't take me anywhere. I defy him. That's a criminal. No, I'm not angry. I'm being forceful. I'm being intellectual. I'm providing facts. No, I said something I didn't mention him, so they don't know I'm a medicine. He has no integrity in life or integrity. He's in the crisis of integrity. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. He's not only fake. He's drowning in the crisis of integrity. I say he's a criminal. He's a thief. To take a $45,000 car in the budget to vote for it, not just to vote for it, and you didn't inform the people because say everything you will inform the people on record for that. And he didn't say anything about it. Okay, the pastor didn't vote, but why he didn't say it? Why he didn't say he voted for it? The records are there, Lord. Gentlemen. Senator Delon should be treated as a common criminal for lying to the public that there's no $3.6 million in the budget. Okay, and they said they didn't want it. Where they place it? There's $3.6 million. Yeah, the money here. The thing is in the budget. There's the final budget. So like they don't tell you when they took it all of a sudden what they put it. I bet you one question is when they took it out.
This is a critical issue in this country.
That's the
and we must stand up and speak the truth. Because for you to use the fact that prior to printing, it means you already tell me print. But before you print, come up to me. There is nothing in that paragraph that indicated that money should be printed.
The essence of this exercise, the essence of this exercise is to know the facts Everybody will have the opportunity to ask questions if you so desire.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon and a pleasant welcome to Freedom Hub on 87.9. This is Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kyle Oliver Kine. I'm here today on a lone presentation bringing you all of the information you need to know about Liberia, the electoral period, and everything happening to the Republic of Liberia right here on 87.9. Too many things happening in the country, a lot of issues going on. We are investigating the situation at the Rabat International Airport relative to the issue of drugs and drug-related activities going on at the nation premier aviation entry point, the Rabat International Airport. We're going to be having our undiluted opinion on this subject matter. We're going to be having a conversation on all of what we need to know about this situation. We are still investigating. By tomorrow, we'll give you a full-scale update on what is going on, what we've learned, what we have independently gathered from the entire saga. And trust me, there is going to be no stone that will be untouchable. Whoever is going to fall in the bailiwick of our suspicion, based on real indicators, that individual, those group of individuals will be name ashamed. Recommendations will be made because you know why? There is this issue of preserving the peace of our country and keeping this country forward. The issue of maintaining the peace and keeping Liberia in a prosperous state is beyond any alignment, be it political, ethnic, religious. Once a particular action is against the peace and prosperity of the country, as such an attitude is going to be rejected on this platform. Too many things to talk about in the country. During the course of the second segment at about 5:15 today, we're going to be playing host to Mr. Aliyu Kemokai. Aliyu Kemokai is the director of the Monrovia Vocational Training Institute. Better still, he's the head of the MVTC. And Kemokai will tell us more about the president's vision for technical and vocational education in Liberia, what the government is doing, and specifically with reference to MVTC in the country. Too many things to talk about. In Bon County, Liberia, President George Weah is urging PYJ to be taken to the War Crimes Court by Joseph Yoman Boaka. I repeat, he said, and I quote, carry PYJ to War Crimes Court. And George Weah tells Joseph Boaka. That's the headline from the Independent newspaper in Monrovia. The Independent newspaper in Monrovia is reporting, according to this paper, the Liberian president, His Excellency Dr. George Weah, is asking Joe Boaka to take PYJ to the court, to the War Crimes Court. This conversation is going to be highly analyzed on this platform. What was the president trying to convey? What kind of message was he trying to push across? Was the president actually saying what he said? Is it another way of conveying some form of information? That conversation is going to be held right here on the People Station. Yeah. Too many things to talk about. Too many issues to look into. Liberia is never going to burn. The country will remain where it is. We take a few bars of our theme song then. When we come back, we run strictly into the issues making the news in Liberia. Right here on the People Station.
What happened? Mama, you still do no, let's still boy. Hey, yes, the mama do our party. I go see what I'm Share my well. Only time face.
For what a plan.
What tablet me pise. What tablet pise.
No brain.
No, stop it. You can't do that. How you a boy human being? Let me know that Rosafi. Huh? Let me know that Rosafi. You tell human being you're a boy human being. Let's stop the kind of thing. If we catch criminal or somebody commit crime in our community or whatsoever, take that to the law or carry that to the nearby police station and report that to the police. Let the police themselves investigate and find out whether he right or wrong. That's not our party.
Keeping us safe, let's stop it. Crime for all of us. Crime stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper. Stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia. From the center to interior. Crime stopper. Keeping us safe, let's stop it. Crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Cyan.
Crime stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime stopper. Keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime stopper. The people bringing safety to your door. Crime stopper. Stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime stopper Liberia. From the center to interior, Crime stopper. Keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us.
Okay, all right. So welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9, the official voice of Freedom Communications Incorporated. My name is Kai. I'm here today on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon in Monrovia with a lot of issues going on in the country. There is a situation at the Roberts International Airport involving boxes. We are told several boxes containing some substances, but we'll read you what we have from the government of Liberia as an official response while we continue our investigation right here on the People Station. That's what we're going to continue doing. So there are too many things to look into. Let me read what the government of Liberia wrote on today. Okay, let me read for you what the government of Liberia wrote. But before then, let's go to the DEA. The DEA issued a statement today, and that statement says, the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency confirmed the testing of herbal plants packaged in a natural form at the Roberts International Airport to contain a presence of methamphetamine. And as part of the Liberia Drugs Enforcement Agency's initial scientific investigation on samples of these natural plants, the examination results revealed the presence of illicit drugs, which is contained under the United Nations table listing for illegal narcotic drugs. With immediate effect, the LDEA is initiating a full-scale investigation into the importation and illegal possession of said narcotic drug and will involve all those that may have links directly or indirectly. The public can be assured that our effort will leave no stone untouched as we endeavor to bring the perpetrator to book. In so doing, we will keep the public updated as progress is made on the investigation. We therefore call on members of the public to refrain from initiating any act of misinformation and disinformation that has the propensity to prejudice the ongoing investigation. Michael Jipley, the Chief of Communication and Public Affairs at the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency. Now, when this statement was issued by the LDEA, the government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, also issued another statement. And this is it. It says, the Ministry of Justice, through the Joint Security of Liberia, has confirmed that the consignment of boxes it intercepted containing herbal plants packaged and in natural form at the Rabat International Airport reveals a presence of methamphetamine. As part of the Liberian Drugs Enforcement Agency's investigation, which included scientific examination, sample tested revealed that the presence of the illicit drug, which is banned under the rules of the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crimes, the UNODC, the Ministry of Justice, the Minister of Justice, Frank Musadin, has with immediate effect offered the Joint Security of Liberia, as well as the LDEA, the Liberian National Police, the National Security Agency, to expand their investigations on the importation of the illegal drug with the aim of bringing to justice all those involved. The public will be duly updated as progress is made on the investigation and in the wider fight against illicit drugs and transitional criminals. Lejehu J. Rennie, the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism, signed this communication. So the first thing is, this radio station, specifically those of us on the different political talk shows, are into is a serious investigation. We're seriously investigating what transpired a day or two ago. We're also critically reading the two releases, from the DEA and the Liberian government through the Ministry of Information. The first thing we want to acknowledge is the fact that the substances in those boxes were intercepted by the Joint Security Forces at the airport. That is something laudable. The mere fact that the drug came to the country and the drugs were arrested by state security forces shows clearly that the country is not as vulnerable as it used to be maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago when we had a war in the country where anything could just come unnoticed. So we want to give it up to the Joint Security Forces for uncovering what was about to be smuggled into Liberia. Now, here is the situation we have in the country. Whoever is connected to that issue, and that's why when I read the government response, I'm going to go back to the Ministry of Justice and the entire Joint Security to go beyond that initial statement by doing what is conventionally accepted. Those boxes did not walk from outside of the country to come to Liberia. No. Those boxes were placed on airplanes. I mean, depending on where they came from. But it is possible those boxes passed through different transit points to have landed at the airport. All of the airlines that were involved with bringing the boxes to the country or from wherever it came from, the investigation should include all of those people. Reach out, get all of the details, get all of the shipping documents, all of the different documents relative to the shipping of those packages should be made available. The joint security should start the conversation from there. Now, when you go as far back as contacting the different airlines, the different travel routes those packages may have used, it will give you a clear understanding as to who did the packaging, where they did the packaging, for whom were the packaging, done. Whether you have 2-3 human beings who are sitting in the country on the receiving end, whether that one person, you will automatically know where the packaging took place. You will know who the packaging, the entire packages. You will know exactly who were the folks, or who are the folks who are supposed to be receiving it. You will know. So, for me, this should not be a very tough investigation at all. It should not be anything that will be difficult in investigating. No, it should not be. Without having security knowledge and so forth, you can automatically use your fundamental strategy of investigating things to reach to the bottom of this situation. Now, what about people who were trained for the sole purpose of being hardcore investigators? So all we need to do before any consignment is placed on any airplane on this planet, that consignment will have to go through whatever system. So maybe it is from this investigation, other airports around us will have to tighten up their security system, because the plane did not pick up from Harper to come to Robert Field. The plane did not pick up from Plebo to come to Robert Field. Neither did the plane pick up from Wasanga to come to Robert Field. That plane picked up from somewhere else. I can tell. But wherever that plane came from, that place was never Liberia. So if we can initiate the investigation in such a way that we will trace the origin of those boxes, it will help the investigation. Because you know why? If Austin Kawhi is in Dubai, or he is in Beirut or somewhere else around the world, and he's transferring boxes to Oliver Kahn in Monrovia, it means at the airport in Beirut, even if Austin decides not to place his name on it, he will automatically have somebody else's name on it. Even if the person name that they will be, registering the packages under for onward departure, whatever the case is, or shipment, even if that name is fake, at that particular airport where the packages were submitted, each of the places where you find people submitting packages at the airport are often covered with CCTV cameras. That individual at that point of origin. So if the person who are arranging the boxes came from Ghana, for example, or they came from Nigeria, or they came from Dubai, at the Dubai airport, when they were arranging the container, even if they say we will not put in, Austin say he putting a name on it, you won't put somebody's name on it as the person who doing the shipment. Austin will be pressing on the line before the airliners while they are checking in, their consignment. The camera from the airport from the origin, the terminal got CCTVs around. The cameras will show 100% who stood by the packages as the packages were being, placed on the aircraft. It will show. You go to the airport, and all the information will come across, because the flight that brought that consignment to the country, that flight got itinerary, the flight got all of their manifesto, they got all of the different information relative to the airplane. So the airplane will tell where they pick up the boxes from. The airplane say, oh no, for me, they pick up the boxes from Ghana. They will go to Ghana. Ghana, where the this consignment come from before reaching to your airport. Ghana will say, no, that one airplane came from Nigeria, like bring it. They will go to Nigeria. Ghana said they took the itinerary from, with the airplane from Ghana said they took the itinerary from here, and took it to Ghana, from Ghana and enter Liberia where we catch it. Where the things came from, before entering Nigeria. Nigeria will say, oh no, some kind of flight came from Dubai. The flight brought it to us in Lagos. So, I mean, the investigation will go to Dubai and say, Dubai, who brought these things at the airport here before they could be shipped to Nigeria, before Nigeria could put it in transit and send it to Ghana, before Ghana could deliver it to Liberia where they were arrested. When you follow that trend, automatically you will know who submitted the airport at the first point of entry. At the first point of entry, you will know, because all of the airports around the world at about this moment got serious surveillance cameras mounted. And so you will know who was standing by that package, because every time you log in a luggage, there is a time, that is recorded in the system. So when you come to, Plibo Airline, when you're logging in your packages at Plibo Airline, decks, the time you're doing your login, whatever, when they're printing your ticket out, all the time will be available. So automatically, they can use the ticket of the packaging to review the airport camera and know exactly who submitted what. The footages are available. Let them follow the entire trend. Let them follow the entire travel routes that package or those packages may have used to come to this country. It's not a hard thing. It is not a difficult thing. And that's why I'm saying the good thing is the fact that the government was able, through the joint security, to arrest the situation. Now, what we are investigating at the moment has to do with preliminary statements that came out of individuals at the airport. So we're investigating what the security director may have said to people. We're also investigating what, the AFL personnel who were on the ground may have said to people. We're also investigating other individuals within the perimeter of the airport, because when we are about to have a real conversation on this issue, it is going to be a holistic approach. Mind you, the peace, the security, the forward march and prosperity of this country is above all other alignments. Don't think you Barcelona fan, and so you do Fidija and no. When it comes to preserving the image of our country and showing that this country is a wonderful place for all of us to live, we got zero tolerance for nonsense. Let me repeat. We have zero tolerance for nonsense. Whoever will be connected to that identical drug issue, no matter who you are in this country, let me say it on this radio publicly. No matter your size, no matter the place you stay, no matter your status, once it is established beyond all reasonable doubt that you have a link in the importation of harmful substances in this country, no matter your political party, no matter the place you eat, the place you go to worship God, no matter the tribe you're from, the religion you're part of, we don't care. On this platform, we name you, shame you, and call on the government to do the most appropriate thing in an effort to safeguard the peace, security of this country. There is zero tolerance towards that. Absolutely. Zero tolerance towards anything that tend to model the image of our country. We're not going to compromise anything of such nature. As we've done over the period, our job is never to compromise anything that's concerning the peace and security of our country. All we've done over the period is to project the image of the country and preserve a more dignifying, a picture of Liberia. So if anybody is going to be caught through the entire forensic investigative, processes that the government will be launching, independent media people will be launching, if anybody will be caught, and I'm not saying caught on the basis of speculation, if anybody will be caught beyond all reasonable doubt, that person should just kiss whatever alignment they have with anybody in this country goodbye. If the Chelsea fan, let them kiss, that alignment they have with Chelsea fans. Maybe, whatever the case is, whoever they may think they are, whoever they may be, in as much as it is proven beyond all reasonable doubt, we will be calling on the government of Liberia to ensure that justice is done and those individuals, or that individual in the case where it is one person, will be dealt with sufficiently. That's my position. The reason why we are not calling names at the moment is because our investigation is still ongoing. And we do not intend to jump the guns. Because you know why? We are into an electoral period. During elections, there are too many political manipulations that can happen. So it is going to be premature for anybody to jump the gun and say that Austin Kawai brought the drugs to the country. Oh, yes, it will be premature for anybody to do so. And that's why, as media people, commentators of political events in the country, we do not intend to jump the gun to say this person, that person. But what we will do is to call on the government to do the most appropriate. I'm not saying do the best, I mean, do what is right. I said the most appropriate. There should be no mistake in the situation. Oh, yes. Because you know why? This could be this whole shipment stuff could be a political situation. It could be. At the same time, it could be somebody's personal drug business they are doing. Somebody could ship those consignments with the notion of, oh, drug. Everybody talking drug in the country, and because election is on, another political party people blaming other political people of doing nothing about drug. And so somebody could just choose as their own way of providing political, a better stuff, fueling political tension in the country. So they introduce the whole drug thing, and the whole country will be carried away by drug, and we'll go to election, and there will be consequences, right? It could be from a political perspective. At the same time, it could be somebody who into real drug business, bringing their normal consignment, and it got busted up. That's why it is going to be so premature for any thinking man, anybody who went to school, anybody who is seen enough, anybody who is educated, so just jump the gun and say that Alexa brought the drugs to the country, that Austin brought the drugs to the country, that A.B. Williams brought the drugs. To do that without having all of the proofs and the evidence available unto you, then automatically you're not going to be doing the right thing. But what I think can be safe enough to do at this moment is to ensure that the Ministry of Justice, through the Joint Security, will go to work on it, launch a serious scooping mission, a serious scooping operation, and ensure that you identify the source or sources of, the packages. Let us know where those packages came from. Who shipped them to Liberia? Who were supposed to receive them? Because you know why? You see, when airplane traveling, for us, we don't travel too much around the world. So the smaller experience we get, we're talking. Subject to correction though. We stand to be corrected on it. When airplane in the air there, so now people traveling with the airplane, so now they can travel with their bags with them. Their suitcases can either be on the same flight with them, or sometimes they can come, they go check for the bag, they don't see the bag. They mean the bag left back to either the airport where they started the journey from, or when the plane was coming, the plane stopped somewhere, they call it transit. Either at that transit point, the load on the plane was too much, and the plane decided to reduce weight. So maybe they will leave your bag back. When you come after 1 or 2 days, the other plane will coming will bring your bag back to the country. That's how traveling can be. So sometimes the goods can come by itself. Sometimes suitcases can come by itself. Those who got the suitcases can be around. But one thing the airline will never do is to ensure that is to allow suitcases or any packages to be on board the aircraft without being tagged. I mean, it's TAGGED, without being tagged. No airline will allow any box, even envelope. When you put an envelope on the airplane, they will tag it, because they want to ensure that every single foreign object that will go on board the aircraft will be recorded, will go through security screening, and for the sole purpose of identification, because they want to know who bag here. They want to know that who sleep on here, that who carry this stuff. I mean, those are things that they want to find out. So it is going to make no sense to me if after today and tomorrow, the joint security will still be forming and acting like, it is a difficult thing to establish from a preliminary perspective, the preliminary culprits. I'm going to be disappointed in 2 days if the joint security cannot come up to us and tell us who are the preliminary culprits. At least the name should be out. Maybe the message now in Germany and try to do message low. And they can do message low. Yeah, sometimes you can be traveling. You go to Brussels airline, you go to the other airline. You can go to the airline. To bring 50 kilo is $200. $200, 50 kilo from the US and other places. So you can just package your thing and you get some kind of connection somewhere. You transport your goods. You pay the money and you can get on the aircraft. Once you can work your way from your system in that airport, you can work your way and put it on the plane. You sit down in Europe, you sit down wherever you are, you can come to the country. You got to ride with the goose. But what will happen is that your goose will be marked. It will be tagged. If there are other ways to do it, I still will be corrected on it. But we would need the joint security to tell us between now to Thursday. Between now to the end of business day on Thursday, the joint security should be able to tell us in this country who brought those packages, whether that Lipton tea, whether that meth, whether that whatever, that moringa, but in as much as the DA laboratory was able to conduct their test, and the laboratory test came out indicating that there are substances of illicit contents within those packages, it shows that those packages are drug-related issues. And so those packages, I'm not too sure, got on whatever airplane that brought it to this country without being tagged. No. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure they got on board without being tagged. And besides, before your goods will get on board a particular flight, they get all of your real information, your biometric information, which is contained in your passport. So even when you're not traveling, you have a passport before they send your goods. When I work and send something from you, I know who goods is sending. Because the airport, you don't want to get in trouble. Oh yeah, the airport, you won't get in trouble. So all of those informations will be provided. So even when it was to the airline office that you carry your packages, all the airline offices you find around the country, around the world, got their own cameras installed, everything. You even do payment online. You got to go in person to submit the packages. At the time you're submitting the packages, your camera footages will be recorded. So this should not be a hard thing for you. Do the best you can and make sure let's know who's doing it. If somebody is up for some political thing, let's expose it. If somebody is up for doing drug business in this country to ruin the image of Liberia, let's also expose it. And that will be the most appropriate thing to do. That will be the most appropriate thing to do. So our investigation will continue. But as we'll be continuing our investigation internally, we too will be hoping that the joint security will issue statements regularly. If not, between now and Thursday, let us have some form of information. Either Austin brought the drugs to the country, say that Austin Kawa. Either Abu Sheri brought the drugs to the country, say that Abu. Then let the Liberian people ask Abu, why you brought drugs to the country? And maybe the public will say, oh, that Abu man, but that Abu man, that Barcelona man, he do nothing because he want Real Madrid to do this. Oh, okay, Abu man, that Madrid man, he do nothing because he want. Then we know. I mean, when we know who brought the drugs, we start to investigate the person. There is something called lifestyle audit. We start to do lifestyle audit. We start to do a lot of other stuff. Then we can have our dots as the public. why the government investigators and the legal people keep doing their thing to ensure that, you know, some corrective measures are taken to prevent the reoccurrences of something like this. But it is scary. It is a terrible thing, and we will not sit in this country. Let me say it today. We're not sitting in the country and allow such a thing to happen. No. We will not sit here and allow such a thing to happen. And that's why I do not intend to be fast in jumping into a conclusion. To say, okay, that A.B. Williams brought, no. I'm too school for that. Very educated for that. I do not have the facts. I do not have the details. What I do know is that the government was able to arrest the products. Good. The government was able to test the products. Good. The results came out of the testing process. The result indicated from the beginning that those products are products containing substances of narcotic alignment. You know, narcotic substances were tested in the products. Good. So it shows that are drugs. What I do not know is who shipped. Who did the shipping? Who were supposed to be the guys receiving the shipment? For what purpose were the shipments coming to the country? Those are things I do not know. And those are things we're investigating. And so, yes, let everybody remain calm, as the government said. But why the people will remain calm? The government should be proactive enough to adequately respond to the increasing reservations people are raising. And one of the ways you can sort that out is for the country to know who in the whole thing, who brought it. When we know who did the shipment, who shipped it, who was supposed to receive it, then you can calm the situation. And whatever we do next will just be to follow what the legal people will do. That is the conversation. Our guest should be around the studio, so we'll take our break. We will take our break when we come back. All right. We take calls on the subject matter right here on 87.9. We'll take our break to be right back.
It's about music. There are crimes in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. But it can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a human target, and I mean you cheche, do it for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, crimes for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, old man Sam Cyan.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crimes for all of us.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9. My name is Kyle. I'm here today on this wonderful Tuesday's edition of the program. There are too many things to talk about. Let's take more of the calls right here on 87.9. Join us on 086 500 104, 086 500 104, 0776 104 104 to be a part of the conversation here on 87.9. Those of you outside of Liberia, you can do so by joining us on +231 86 500 104. Let's take this first person. Go ahead. Let's hear you. 1 minute.
Good afternoon, Mr. Khan.
Good afternoon, sir. Let's hear you, Chief.
My name is Dempster Johnson. I call from Brewerville.
Go ahead, Mr. Johnson. Let's hear you.
Okay, people who travel usually on airlines or have the goods get on the flight, you have two types of goods. You have the accompanying baggage, which is your suitcases. You have cargo. And the cargo, usually you obtain a document called airway bill.
Okay.
That airway bill will tell you the origin of that cargo, the exporter, or the consignee. You get all of that information, and they will specify that which has been exported. Then you have the accompanying baggage. That is, you take your suitcase.
Mm-hmm.
You pick your suitcase, show the tag and correspond, and custom open it. Then you have the carry-on baggage. The carry-on baggage is the bag that you hang on your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
When you enter the plane, you open it up there and you put it there. So those are the luggages that usually people take on the airline. So I will request the Joint Security Flight to request for the airway bill.
That's correct.
Because the airway bill will give all the details. I think that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pap. And your input was so resourceful. Let's take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Good evening, Khan.
Good evening. Let's hear you, Chief.
Thank you very much, brother. William Debbie Wuru. And I join from Carwell.
Go ahead, William.
At the airport, the people request the crossing in the bureau. It's calling our young people, it's calling our sister.
You gotta go close to the phone. We're not getting you clear.
Yeah, so Khan, you get me now?
Yes.
So like you said, we want everybody to put our hand on that, that they draw one. If that power was not, the last time when it happened, the folks said they found who brought in the country. So we want the final state to send out to see how we can get the final state.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Thank
you very much. And that's correct. This question, go ahead. 1 minute, no time.
Yeah, good afternoon, if I can come.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Isaac who's in first to be called son of POK, and I joined the conversation after from letter decision of 14 to recommend the
Go ahead.
President, you said it all. For this country, there is a tendency that if the issue come out, some media participants cannot wait for total investigation to come out. But like last night, the Supreme Court was discussing that the chief of protocol and Noah Abono is the one who is behind this issue of the drugs. If the media people try to do these things, I think they will confuse the people in this country because we let the foreign investigation come out and then before putting out information, because you guys are the watchdog over this country. You people say things and then people listen to it. But if you try putting out wrong information, I think it will be correct. So as you already said, we are waiting on the airport management, so other security that is into this investigation case. It should be fast as soon as possible. That we must get the perpetrator that is behind this issue. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Hello, KOK.
Go ahead, ma'am.
KOK, there is my Richard Dore.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
KOK, I want to tell you thank you this afternoon for your transition. You see, KOK, no enemy are still fighting. They are fighting in a sense that some people can say that we are being just in the country. You see, all people that they're saying it. So let the government start their ways and fight to see the end of this. Because it's a serious issue. We're soon going for. And now the people know that we're soon going for. Based on that, we are doing those things. So they can say that we are being trouble.
And that's why we want people to do the investigation timely, and very effectively so that we can reach to the bottom of this situation.
Yes. So let them fight. Then they go from place to place as you explain that what they should do. Then they will check the person who doing this.
Okay, thank you.
Damage the reputation of this government.
So thank you very much. Let the investigation come up first and we'll know who's doing what. This other person, go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am. Let's hear you. This is Man CC.
Yeah, thank you for the recognition. This is Man CC on the land, the general herself. I'm calling my 18 vaccinated.
Go ahead.
Let me say talking for honor discussion, the topic you are talking this evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. I want to say to the government of Liberia. The last time just into the country, it was Dickie Zak. They said Peter brought it, the other person brought it, went fiasco. So we call it on the government of Liberia. They just issue that talking about it, it's a piece of the government breaking just in the country. We back it to everything possible. You know, the people want no there's a shame here. Whoever that bring us journal be brought to justice. We don't want in the country. We went for election. We have a fun. We back in a place. When the police in a bottom they say that we have for that nonsense. It be brought to justice. We are be brought to justice. And I involve the law. Thank you.
Thank you very and that's what I like. Nobody is above the law. Whoever is involved, if it is whoever, nobody is excluded from it. Thank you very much. I'll leave you and take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Our guest is around.
Yeah, good afternoon, veteran. My name is Franklin and Kamal. Better be called in place of Plan Puja.
Go ahead.
Veteran, firstly, let me use the media to say thank you for the narrative on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, veteran, sometimes if you're that during electoral period or during certain period, you just get or you put it to a bad substance that will just arrive in the country without knowing who brought those
but they won't know because we'll keep hanging on it until we know.
The last time I have a veteran time, I don't want for the job security. I don't want for the job security to take on 3 weeks for with the child who are those people who brought that because United people doing it because there's an electoral turn because they can be people doing the Georgia, so that what they're trying to do it and they want to look at the A and B and our eyes vigilant. Our eyes vigilant so with the job security agency will be on top of their game. We need information on those who brought this and those that brought those bad substances to be prosecuted. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll leave you. We'll check this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Hello, okay.
Hello, ma'am. Let's hear you.
This is Maya, they're calling from St. Paul's Bridge.
St. Paul's Bridge, go ahead.
So that election coming, so the people will do all kinds of things. As my colleague said, they must check it, the government check it, whosoever, so we can know. They must dig behind it. Because election coming, the people, they will want to do all kinds of things. They will lie on people, they will do this, so that are not true. Like check it out, because that's small thing here.
Thank you.
How long from now to election? Enough far. I tell you, thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's exactly why we're up and pushing this issue. Let the outcome be as fast as possible with all due diligence, done. This person from the international line, what's her name?
Yeah. Good evening. This is Mohammed Kamara.
Mohammed from where?
United Arab Emirates.
Go ahead, Mohammed.
My brother, you are saying it all. And right now, the airport authorities, the whole case is in their hands because they know the plane that landed with a particular assignment. So they know whether the transit, they know where the transit came for the high or the document. The thing is very simple. If the airport authority, they really need, it's very simple for them to get the matter resolved. They will know who sent it, they will know where it came from, whether the transit, they will know which transit, they will know who came with it. Everything will be simple to get. So they should not sit down and remain silent. Because right now, election is in the corner. They are using the one, the first day when that new break out, they say, oh, it was Honorable Punabono that brought the judge. You see? So now the security and the airport authority, they have to work very fast. Before, for now, how long? They think they could track the thing in less than 2-3 hours. Because if they contact the airline that came with it the airline that came with it, the airline will tell you, oh yeah, we pick this we pick the particular group for Ghana, or we pick it for Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Nigeria, the airline that came with Nigeria, it was to say, oh yeah, they were the plane that came for their destination. Then when they contact the destination will be able to try the person that sent it and the receiver. So the thing is very common. The thing is not long thing. It's not long thing. All depends on the airport authority if they really want for for the particular thing to come to an end. Because now we're going to election. We have less than 20 some more days for election. All days now the opposition are using it as stigma against the president. Because they will not even say the government, they say the president. The president, everything, every bad thing like bro is the president. When good thing happen is the opposition, and the bad thing happen is the president. So the government or the airport authority, they have to wake up. They have to wake up. This thing is not about sleeping. They should not sleep. Then they wake up and come up with a result. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. We take this other international caller. Go ahead, sir. What is the name?
I'm calling from that.
The United States. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought there was a gentleman at the press conference that was eating some of the leaves that said it was his consignment. And secondly, I think this is politics and this is a hard propaganda issue here. And I think the army guy that did it, the army people that did the arrest, they should be given the opportunity to have a press conference to be a piece. That's what they arrest and what were the factors to check. Because, this is like, that's why they implicate Pina Bono in this whole one here. They call her on the phone and she said, oh, it was not her consignment because they know she closer to the president. So for them to link the president or bring the president close to the president.
And that's why, and that's why Amrut. So irrespective of whatever may have transpired when the boxes were intercepted, my take is if the airport authority can provide which I know they would do, can provide the documents, detailing the shipping routes to the joint security, they will be able to know exactly where those consignments came from, who were they, supposed to land with, and all of the information will be provided. So whether they implicated this person or not, what we can hope for is for the right thing to be done, and in the end we'll know who's doing what.
Oh yeah, and you're right. You're right. That information is simple. They can get it because all you gotta do, the ticket and the airline that transported that landed that they arrest, they call it from, they can just go to the airline can put it from the first place of shipment. If it was a transit something, they can get all that details because it's like if I was shipping KK or iPhone right now, so long they pick it up or the DHL or FedEx mail, they can track everything.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But thank you so much. Thank you so much for flagging this. And this is a hard propaganda issue. There's no mistake. Somebody started to implicate people on it because the opposition wants to use this as a propaganda tool.
I agree. Thank you very much. I agree. But we will keep all of those assertions until the investigation can come up with a finding that we can trust and we can rely on.
Okay, no, you're right. But because I see a lot of opposition posting and some other men accusing Pina Bono say, oh, how Pina Bono change some food store, some Mangala or something. So I know they're trying to use it.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. And that's why the security people, when they do their job, the best way I am of the conviction that they will uncover the truth and nothing else but the truth.
Yes, and thank you so much for flagging this, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We leave you. We take this other caller from the United States. Go ahead. Where in the okay, let's get you. Where in the US you join us from? Thank you very much from Minnesota. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay, you know why, right? The government needs to be on top of the thing, especially the security.
Oh yeah.
You understand me?
That's correct.
This country, even all over the world, there is no way that a law or budget that will get on the plane without a check on it, because they gotta check it in before they put it on the plane. It's not a carry on bag. So say, oh, the part is a carry on bag, so and they need to just put it on there so they put it on it. No, they check the thing in. Number 2 here, remember somebody last week, there is a flyer that a group of people made, and they say they're going to protest on the 9th of next month. The day before the election, they said they're going to protest for drug business in that country. I saw that flyer on Facebook, and I make a comment on it. I said, so all the time you stay in the country that you protest for drugs, for Toronto, for
the security will go, our voices will yell to call on the security to do a quick investigation. Then they tell us where is the medication coming from?
Thank you.
Where are drugs coming from?
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, my bro.
Thank you. We leave you right there. We leave you, and at 5:15 today, we will take Mr. Aliu Kemokai. Aliu Kemokai is the director at the level of the MVTC. He's going to be telling us more about the workings of the entity. This other person, what is the name? Where do you join us from? Quickly.
Oliver Carr. My name is Alvin Dana, and I'm from the UN Drive.
UN Drive. Go ahead, Alvin.
Mr. Carr, I think the president, the government had to take this very serious because just the treated it better, just the video or how you got to book out just with time taking. So every go nowhere you're telling them video or then they come and be happy.
That's why I said we'll get to the bottom of it. That's why we'll.
If we are making me to see in my own community, while part of man, if you do the video, we hearing.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you. We'll take this other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Yeah, good evening, okay?
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, my name is Prince.
Go ahead.
Let me appreciate this. These are being the very important in our country. If the opposition thinks they will use me to start telling people that bring the government the last of the top. Because we are also the NSA, the Justice Ministry, the anything. Whatsoever, whoever there is, the law is taking place. Whom is going to justice. Because they try to want to turn last or ruin the talent. So I think the NSA wants to do things. Thank you all so much, God.
Thank you. We'll leave you. We'll take the other person. Go ahead. 1 minute.
Well, good evening, Kai.
Good evening,
My
Chief.
name is Abdullah Gola Fale, and I speak to you from District number 4, Masalada County.
Gola Fale, go ahead.
Thank you, and thank to the government for Ali on top of this kind of information. Because Kai, months ago, the issues of the former Justice Minister was, Dollar was killed. And the government, members of the government official were accused, the mayor coaching were accused. Today, they have been victimized into that process where which it was in a cycle, their own cycle. And today, we having another information again that drugs are entering in the country and Sinabondoni have been called. So, we're not going to take anything easy when it comes to the issues of our government officials allegedly being accused on the kind of allegations. So let me first and foremost commend you for the levels of appreciating you. Now, for some steps have to be taken and where which we can able to continue this kind of problem. Because we are in the process of election. The guys sang a song and they called the president and they said the president taking cookie, this, that, here and there. And today we're having the kind of information. It is quite saddening. But I think we are part of the center and all we need to do to be kind to ourselves so that justice will prevail for all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll leave you right there. We'll take this other person. We'll take 2 more, then we call it a day. This person, 1 minute. Hello? Your name and where you join us from quickly?
Hello?
Hello, what's your name? Where you join us from?
My name is Elino Tape. I'm calling from Pipeline.
Go ahead, from Pipeline.
You know, Oliver Kahn, my son, they just basically is really spoiling our president. Just recently when people went at ATS, you know, the son, the United Party people was thinking, say, we want drugs, we want cocaine, we want push, we want push, we want push, we want push. Even when I was on the bus today, they were talking, the president are cool, then they say they're voting for him, they are push, we can't bring the country. So please, my children, you are the general there too, no more. Think behind people there and see what's really going on in the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The real folks who are involved with that thing, they will be exposed. What we will not sit down to do is to allow it to be swept under the carpet. Whoever will be involved, that person will be brought to book. Thank you very much. Let's take the last caller, then we call it a day. This person, you are the last caller on the subject matter. Go ahead, 1 minute.
Thank you for the topic under discussion, KOK. The name remains Stanley Sherry. I join you for broad orientation or something.
Go ahead, Stanley.
Thank you. You see, this country, the oppositions in this country, they are not mean well for us. You see, a lot of these guys are even working in our port or to the airport, they are opposition. They are the one that are doing this thing. They are just doing some sentimental ideas together to see how best to tarnish the reputation of the sitting president. From calling upon the justice ministers to speedily investigate the particular case here. Because can you imagine? They did a similar things like my mother rightly said during the Girl Musu Scott case. They blackmailed the city mayor and voluntary today. They have been determined. Then likewise, in the Bologna have been mentioned in this particular just issue. So I'm calling upon the justice ministers to see how best to speedily investigate a particular just saga that is spinning over the head of the sitting president of this country. Thank you, KOK. We are watching these people with eagle eye. We are calling upon the citizens of this country to reject the so-called rescue and rescue too, because they don't mean well for this country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I saw a call coming. I don't know if that caller will want to be on the platform. That is something I just cannot tell. But let's see whether we can squeeze in that person. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm constrained to call on the topic, man. This is Zolizo.
General Zolizo, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Well, I wish I would comment on issue of national security, but again, because the perception of your callers, why would the callers want to hold the government of Liberia, the president of Liberia, responsible for somebody's action? If an individual who works or associated with the government committed a crime or is alleged to have committed a crime, that has nothing to do with the president. Recently, we were discussing the issue of Grover Musu Scott. People were calling names here, and the government took action. So why don't you have faith in the government? That give the process a chance.
That's correct.
Why the process work? Why don't you have faith in the government? You cannot attribute anyone's action right now doing these electoral processes to the president. The president is independent, and the government has shown that level of integrity. As I say again, the Grover Musu Scott case is a case in point. I don't want to go into the merit and demerit of what is obtaining at the level of the airport, but the government is on record. The government has the credential. The government has what it takes to ensure that these kind of matters are prosecuted. And some of the matters went to court. Even just in the case, the matter went to court, the government took serious session. It was a jury trial. So I don't know why like people keep blaming the president for somebody's action.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. He's Zolizo, General Zolizo there on the line. And so we'll take this quick break. When we come back, we play a host to our guest, the Honorable Aliyu Kemokai. He is the director there at the MVTC, one of the vocational institutions doing a lot more of training in the country for our young people and people who are desirous of acquiring skills. Baby Boy, please bring our guest to studio. Let's take this exceptional caller. Go ahead.
Okay. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
I'm calling on Musa Dean. I know he's listening to you. The CLM and the GST family will stay existing, won't dissolve here. He might investigate the case. If not, we come into your office just a warning. That's all. And he must be truthful. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you very much. We leave you right there. We take this quick break to be right back.
It's about music. There are crowds in many places. In every community, you know, you can see. So if you see crime, you must report it. Don't take law in your hand, call the right authority. They can't take your law in. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must take it. I mean you cheche, you wait for your safety. If you see it, don't keep it. You must call to report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, they're stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Okay, so welcome back to the program Freedom Hub on 87.9. My name is Kai. Our guest today is Mr. Aliyu Kemokai. He's Aliyu Lee Kemokai. He's the director of the Monrovia Vocational Training Center there on the Japanese Freeway, right after the double bridge when you're leaving Freeport, leaving the Stephen Turbert area. And you will find the MVTC on the right hand side of the road. And so we have him in studio. He's going to tell us more about what the MVTC has been doing over the period. Where did he take the institution? Where is it now? Where is he intending to take the institution, as a matter of fact? So we have in studio Mr. Kemokai, who is now directly in studio. You were here a couple of weeks ago, but visually. I mean, you did the show online. It is our honor to welcome you to our central studios here on 87.9 Clay and Kerry Street intersection. Good evening.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure being on your show.
Okay. Okay. So let me see whether okay. So I think we can give you a try. The MVTC, where is it?
Well, thank you very much. Let me first say thank you to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and thank you to the staff of the Monrovia Vocational Training Center.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here today. So today exactly makes it 1 year since we took over the Monrovia Vocational Training Center.
Okay.
So MVTC was established in 1978 through a World Bank grant by the then President Tolba.
Okay.
And in 2015, under the then President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, there was an extension project by the Chinese of the Monrovia Vocational Training Center. And currently under President Weah, I can safely say that today the Monrovia Vocational Training Center has state-of-the-art equipment that we did not have since the formation of the institution.
Okay.
So at MVTC today, for example, if you see our carpentry shop, our equipments are equivalent to the one we went and saw in Austria.
Okay.
So we have an industrialized facility currently.
Okay.
But just to give a little overview of what we do at MVTC.
That's exactly where I want us to go, because we're interested in the different areas you're training people. Carpentry, electricity. What are the different fields you're offering?
So at MVTC we run 18 months training program.
Okay.
And that 18 months is divided into 6 different terms. From term 1 to term 6.
Okay.
So in term 1 we do what we call numeracy and literacy skills to find out what skills our trainees have. So in term 2 is the beginning of practical activities.
Okay.
That runs from term 2 all the way to term 4. And in term 5 we do what is called the project.
Okay.
So what I've been learning about term 2 and 3 and 4 is put into a project.
Okay.
Then in term 6 we have what we call the internship, where we send our learners out there to get hands-on experience in the real world of work,
which is good. So the question then is, we come back to the same question: what are the disciplines you're offering at the entity?
So at MVTC currently we have 13 different trades areas.
Okay.
So maybe I can name a few: electricity.
You can even name all.
Electricity.
Okay.
Plumbing, carpentry, masonry, architecture, drafting, graphic arts, electronics, auto mechanic, heavy duty mechanic, light duty mechanic, and computer science.
Okay.
So we train people in these 13 different trade areas with professionals, some of whom have been trained in Liberia.
Okay.
Some have gone outside to enhance the skills. So at MVDC, our training runs for 18 months and is divided into 6 different terms.
Okay, 18 months and divided into 6 different terms. Now, let's go to the process of enrollment.
So
a lot of people, especially the young people, want to go to the MVDC, but a lot of them do not know how somebody can get at the entity. What do you look forward to? Are there requirements?
Yes, so that's one reason why we are here, exactly because I think the issue of technical and vocational education and training in Liberia have been looked at on the left-hand side.
Okay.
So those who do not have the academic strength, we say they should go to vocational. No, that is a different perception.
Okay.
The real perception is skills give you work. Today across the world is run because people have skills. Everything today in the studio, it was built because people have technical and vocational education and training.
That's correct.
So it's very, very much important. So at MVDC, our enrollment is through entrances. So we administer entrances. I can tell you now, since we're already asking that question, currently we are already on recruitment for our next training cycle. And we are also concluding this training cycle. Our graduation is going to be on the 29th.
Okay.
On the 29th of this month, we're going to be putting out up to 1,200 different trainees in all of the 13 different disciplines that I talk about. So currently, one of our entrances is going to be on the 16th.
Okay.
Which is September 16th, this coming Saturday. And we're going to schedule another one somewhere in October, early October. So the entrance fee is $2,000 and information.
2,000 Liberian dollars.
2,000 Liberian dollars.
Okay.
And information sheet is 500 Liberian dollars. So in the information sheet, you're going to get additional information regarding specific requirement for different trade areas.
Okay, a specific requirement for different areas. So you are 1 year old today as director of the MVDC. There are concerns. You know, a lot of people are concerned about the kind of services you're providing to the Liberian people. They're concerned about the quality. What kind of school you're running? You know, although initially you talk about how equip your carpentry section A's and other stuff, but people still complain of going to the MVTC when they are required to purchase their own personal materials. You know, do you have the tools that the students will use in terms of the practical exhibition of their skills, of what they've learned? Do you have the tools available? Do you provide the tools to them, or students are required to purchase their own tape rule, their own level, for example, their own screwdrivers or spanners, for example? How is it done?
So thank you very much for that question, because I get that question all of the time.
Okay.
So at the Monrovia Vocational Training Center, the institution provide the tools and equipment for the trainer to train the trainees.
Okay.
It is in our requirements that students provide their personal tools. So for example, if you are an electrician, you must have your plier, your screwdriver. So when they say let's put this wire together, you can put it together by yourself. That property is for you. You own it. But meanwhile, the institution also have her own tools and equipments.
Are the tools sufficient to cover all of the students who are there?
So now this is where we are.
Okay.
So there are challenges all over the place. So one of the challenges there at MVDC is that the issue of training materials, because we run a training program and the students, we use consumables. So somebody doing electricity, for example, will require that man to use maybe 2-3 rows of wire before the completion of the entire training cycle.
Okay.
And these are consumables. So this is where really the challenges are, the issue of consumable. So since we took over a part of our way to see how we can solve that problem, we started to engage with some of our partners.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, MVDC have another partners they have been dealing with. And many of these partners will provide internship opportunity for trainees.
Okay.
But we said no. the fact that we went outside there and saw what is happening there, the public sector, the employers, they are the ones supposed to be supporting technical and vocational education and training. Why? Because these people are trained for the larger society, the labor market. So we started to engage them. So I would like to mention a few of them, like Ego Electronics. So we had issue with our electricity because of consumables materials. So we engaged Ego, and Ego was magnanimous enough to provide us some wires, some sockets. We also wrote Coca-Cola Factory. Coca-Cola Factory also provided us with some used S-bases for our refrigeration and air conditioner shop. So these are the kind of engagement we try to do in order to solve and to close that gap. But the challenges, they are there. And I want to call on...
But you're a government entity. Year after year, you're supposed to do your operational report, you know, summarizing what you've done over the period, the challenges you've endured over the period, the prospects you're having, what you're doing. I mean, you submit these plans yearly. I mean, annually to the power that be. I'm told the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Why aren't you getting it from the government? Because the government is supposed to be providing the support for that entity.
Yes. So let me hasten to say that indeed the Ministry of Youth and Sports run the Monrovia Vocational Training Center.
That's correct.
So like I said, MVDC is a government-run institution. Even the fees that we charge there, we charge the fees in a way that people can afford. So part of the burden to run the institution regarding consumables is on the trainees. That is why the fee is lower. But notwithstanding, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, on the other hand, through budgetary allocation and through her own effort. For example, if the county meets is play, the ministry generates some resources. They use part of that to buy consumables for MVDC. But like I said, the issue of consumable is really what matters at MVDC. And the ministry is trying her best. Like I said, we all know we are operating in a tight physical space. So that is why we are reaching out as much as possible to the public sector to see how they can support training initiative, because this is what is done in other countries. As you may be aware, we were in Senegal just few weeks back. So the public sector, they are the end user, because when these people are trained, they go directly to the public sector. What support can the public sector to provide for technical and vocational education and training? Because it is often said when the people are trained, they have to be trained again. So now we are saying, why can't the public sector collaborate with the training institution to train? Like if you say you want mechanic, what kind of mechanic do you want? We have the facility, we have the technocrat, we can train there. Let's have a conversation on what can be done to ensure that when the mechanic is trained for MVDC, for example, he goes in a larger society, he is accepted, he is welcome, because what happened in the larger society is exactly what we are training that trainee with.
Now, we're concerned about the quality of your teaching staff. Who are they? I mean, how qualified are the guys teaching? The last time one kid, that was a couple of years ago, apparently 4 to 5 years ago, if not, or beyond. And he was like, I went to the mechanical engineering class, you know, where we're doing light duty. And this teacher, according to the student, was not even able to loosen whatever they were trying to fix. I think they were doing undercarrier, you know, stuff. And he had to correct the instructor because he has been learning how to remove the washers, the stabilizers on the sidewall. And so he would have went there for the paper. So are you having a group of individuals teaching the students who are knowledgeable, who are experienced, or you just got people who got paper and have practically no experience on the job?
So I don't know where that information is coming from, but there are thousands of students currently at MVDC.
Some of them will call today.
Yes, and some of them will call and some of them will testify.
So
the first requirement for becoming a trainer at MVDC is for you to have been trained in that identical discipline. Coupled with pedagogical training and additional training. So most of our trainers that we have, Some of them have been trained locally. Some of them have been trained abroad.
Okay.
So let me just hasten to say this. There is this project called the Youth Rising Project. It is funded by the European Union and implemented by UNIDO.
Okay.
So under that Youth Rising Project, there are TVET instructors that have traveled many parts of the world and have gone to do some training.
How many
Some
of them?
I think the number is more than 100.
Okay.
I may not have the exact figure, but it's more than 100. Some of them have been redeployed at MVDC also.
Okay.
And even some of the current trainers that we have there, some of them have had OSA experience before in the identical field they are involved with.
Okay.
So that information is far fresh.
Okay. I'm saying what the person said. So apparently they did not get the facts correctly, but we're just concerned concerned about the kind of people who are doing the teaching. Now, what is this thing with a proposal of having motorcyclists to be trained at the MVTC? There is this collaboration. Is it still ongoing where the MVTC intended to have had motorcyclists trained so that after riding motorbike for a couple of years, they will also have some form of skills to survive on when their body can no longer, move passengers around? How far is that?
Yeah, so thank you very much. It's well on course. So, as a training institution, we have decided to think of the bus.
Okay.
And that school was established to train young people. Today, as it is, there are young people, especially males, leaving school because they are riding keke or motorbike with literally no skills. So some leave schools only because they want to be on keke or motorbike because now they are already having responsibility to take care of. So what do we do? And this number is increasing every year.
Okay.
You look in the street today, in every corner there are motorbike rider, there are keke rider. They don't even know the rules. Some don't even know what to do. What do we do as a nation? So as a training institution, we are saying this proposal is going to help to minimize some of these issues. So if somebody stay on a motorbike for 10, 15 years,
okay,
what happens? We have no skills. We are saying this project called Skills for Work. Like we have already started working with the Motorcyclists Union to say all motorcyclists beginning in Monserrado in 5 targeted communities, a $1.5 million project to be sponsored by the Office of the President through the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay.
So that a keke rider can become a plumber. A motorcycle rider can become an electrician. And in the end, eventually, this could serve as a deterrent for those who want to ride motorbike. So before you ride a motorbike, you must have a TVET certificate. And we are also working with the Liberia National Police. During the course of the training, when this project is fully approved, they will also be learning road safety and rules and regulation in the traffic. So that is going to help to reduce some of these traffic violations, unnecessary accident, and the rest of it. So this project is saying that you can be a keke rider and also become a plumber.
Now, that is good, from the way you say it. But it has been a couple of months since, this thing was placed before I'm sure the Ministry of Youth and Sports and onwards to the president. What is happening to it? Is there a time frame as to when this will actually kick up? I mean, did the president office receive it in good faith? Are there, signals, to show that it is going to be given green light? Where is it? Because a bike rider who is riding bike because he has no skills, no technical skills, could want to just drop the motorbike and the next day get to the MVTC and get enrolled into this program. They are concerned as to when is it going to start? What is the status?
So, like you said, right, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports to the President Office, this is a conversation that is still ongoing.
Okay,
and there is hope because there is prospect in what we want to do. Because at the end of the day, it is about the young people. We say Liberia have over 65% young people. So what are we doing about the category of people?
Okay.
We need to invest into them. And the only way we can invest into them is through skills.
Okay.
So that is why we're having this conversation. And we're going to have this conversation until we reach a logical conclusion, because this is going to help for nation building. So if we talk about peace and harmony, if young people don't have skills, they will revert to any form of violence.
Okay.
But trust me, if you are in a community as a plumber, as a young man, anybody separate that has a problem, the first person you're looking for is a plumber. So the fact that you have skills, it means that you have work.
The fact that you have skills, it means you have work, which is correct. Now, the issue of internship, do you want to focus on the private sector? Because I'm told you take some of your interns to private entities, SETI Brother and other people. Do you consider taking some of your guys in the very government? For example, you're teaching electricity at MVTC. The LEC is there. Do you have a partnership with the LEC to have some of your students, go there to do their practical at the same time? Are you also in connection with the Water and Sewer Corporation, the LWSC, for your plumbers to also be considered in practicing what they've learned? I can go on naming, Leteco or LTC Mobile, for example, for some of your computer students, your training. Is there a partnership between the MVTC and government entities that are providing service? Do you have that partnership ongoing?
So I may not call it a partnership, but I may also call it a partnership, because during internship period, the trainees in different trade areas are assigned to even government institutions, public and private institutions across Liberia.
Okay.
So LEC is one major partner. So my conversation is, it should not be only internship, because in technical and vocational education and training, there's something called school to work transition.
Okay.
In other countries, we see people undergoing training at the same time, they go spend some time to the workplace, come back to training in between there before graduation. But our concentration is merely on internship, which is just the end of the road. But there is a thin line in between there. So we also started knocking more doors.
Okay.
Like LEC, we saying, look, we don't only want you offer us internship. Can we sit and have some discussion? How can we partner with you in making sure that electricity is taught at MVDC in a way that if we say we need an electrician to work on LEC meter, that person is qualified to work. So that's the kind of conversation we have started having. But this is one thing, like our plumbing student, we send them on Sunday, we call a steady visit to mineral water companies.
Okay.
So we did our communication, we reached out to some of them, but I mean, people were reneging. People were reneging on thinking that students were going there to get information to come and maybe share out for the production area and the rest of it. So one issue is, and this is passion call to the public sector, to employers, institutions. We have the capacity to train the kind of people you want. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a partnership that is deeper than just internship. Because in the end, these people are trained for the public sector, the private sector. So why can't we collaborate and train them in a way that so tomorrow we can say, no painter in Liberia. You want to find a carpenter, you got to go Guinea. You want to find a heavy-duty driver, you got to go Africa Coast. We can change that trajectory if we have the opportunity to discuss this kind of issue even more with some of a government institution, like you put it, and some private institution, because it's about what the country as a whole will get in the end.
Okay.
Because people will say, no, I can't call that man when you roof my house, the next day leaking. I can't call him when you lay my tire, the next day it's off. So there is a deeper conversation, even more than internship. So I like to go further than even internship. So we started engaging with these partners, but the issue of opening up is a major challenge. So one of the lessons that we learned from the study tour in Senegal and Austria was that there is a huge involvement with the public sector.
Okay.
Into training activities.
And you think that is lacking in Liberia?
Yes. to a greater extent, we need to enhance that collaboration. Because unless we do that, training institution will just provide training. Is that what is actually needed? So that conversation needs to happen even more and more. So that is what we look forward to.
You've been having this conversation with, service actors in the public sector, for example. It has been between the MVTC and maybe SETI or this other place. Do you have any intention to have a stakeholders forum? So maybe we say 2 days. We are having a stakeholder dialogue on technical and vocational education. Where you're going to invite bulk of the stakeholders on the one room, maybe at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex Theater, or better still, the Monrovia City Hall, or even at your MVTC auditorium. Is that plan kicking up to you? Are you thinking about it? So that you have all of the actors in one room, you sell the idea to them, and they will come up and give whatever reservations they have, and jointly you can find the solution, other than meeting people individually when maybe they will just choose to refuse because they see only you. But perhaps they could get encouraged if Freedom Mineral Water is present, OK Mineral Water is present, and perhaps because OK is saying I will make way for 10 persons to come and practice at our mineral factory. Perhaps because of OK Freedom to say I will make a 12, and that way you could be achieving your goal. Do you intend having a whole house where all of the stakeholders will get involved?
I mean, I can agree with you even better. I mean, this is where I think the conversation is supposed to go.
Okay.
So if we do it in a holistic form, it's going to yield the necessary results. So we definitely pick up on your suggestion. That is so helpful.
The partners, you just talk about the formation of the MVTC in 1978 by the Tubers administration. You mentioned one of the NGOs, better so one of the international partners that also assisted in that process. Now, to what extent are today's NGO involved in the running of the MVTC? To what extent are they involved? Do you take project proposals to them? Are they forthcoming with the support? What are they saying with reference to some of the things you say to them? To what extent are they involved with your activities?
So, like initially I said, the MVTC is run by the Monrovia Vocational Training Center. So we have international partners there. UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development.
UNIDO is just one.
Yes. We have the IECD.
Okay.
It's a French organization. It's called the International Institute for Cooperation and Development. It's implementing a project at MVTC called the Scribe Project.
Okay.
And they have renovated and equipped our electricity shop. So we have even UNESCO. UNESCO is there on quality assurance issue, quality standard. So we also have the GIZ. So all of these institutions, they work with MVTC, but through the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
Okay.
So all of what they are doing, it is actually forthcoming. So today, as we speak, 3 of our major partners is UNIDO, IECD, and UNESCO.
UNIDO, IECD, and UNESCO. Now, we're about to go to the lines, but before we do that, you talk about the current recruitment you're on. Do you have a ceiling of the number of individuals you can take, and what kind of interests are you giving? Because if I want to do carpentry, how is the interest going to look like? Is it math and English, or how is it like? How do you give your interests?
So our interests are given math and English.
The men want to do carpentry. You're doing math and English.
So the first requirement of entry at MVTC is 10th grade and above.
Okay.
So at 10th grade, you should be able to do basic addition, subtraction, and in English also you should understand literacy.
Okay.
So it's basically numeracy and literacy tests.
Okay. Do you have a ceiling? Like how many students do you have space for this cycle?
So MVTC capacity is such that we take up to 3,000 students
per cycle.
Training cycle.
Okay.
And the training cycle run for 18 months.
18 months.
Yes.
So the graduation, you want to talk about it before we go to the lines?
So the graduation is going to be on the 29th of September.
Okay.
And it's going to be held at the Morovia Vocational Training Center. And the reason behind the venue is for people to come and see what is happening at MVDC. So, and I like to talk about this particular issue because many times people say when you graduate from MVDC, you don't have your certificate immediately. So since we took over, all of the past graduates, we have printed all of their certificates, so you can go now and collect your certificate.
The past graduates,
no matter when you graduated.
Okay.
So for this graduation,
that's laudable.
This graduation, all of the students that will be graduating will receive all of their documents on the day of graduation.
On the day of the graduation.
This is the first time since MVDC was founded. So we anticipating 1,200 trainees to be graduating. And on the graduation day, we're going to have some exhibition. You're going to come and see what the mechanical students have done. They had a vehicle there parked for more than 10 years, and they were able to rebuild it. So if you go to our Facebook page, you will see some of the videos. They had a generator there that was parked for more than 10 years. They were able to work on it and bring it alive. And the electricity students will also be showing some innovation. So the graduation is going to be colorful with different exhibition by our trainees.
Okay. It's going to be colorful with different exhibition by the trainees. The callers will also call in to ask questions that we were unable to ask here on 87.9. Let's yes, so you can remove your helmet. That is the only way it's going to work. Let's take this quick break to be right back.
People bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crimes for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is your community crime fighting partner. Don't take the law into your own hands. Remember, if you see a crime, report it. This is a message from your own self, Old Man Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety.
Okay, so call us right now on the numbers. You know, if you are a student at the MVTC, or you have an experience at the MVTC, whether good or bad, whatever the situation is, call us and let us know. If you're graduating, tell us how the process was. You know, if you drop out and you want to go back, anything you need to know about the MVTC, you can call us and be a part of the conversation. The numbers are the same: 086-500-104, 086-500-104, 0776-104-104 are the numbers to call and be a part. Those of you outside of Liberia can join us on +231 86-500-104 to be a part of the conversation. Let's take the first batch of calls. This person, where do you join us from?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, what's your name? Where you join us from, sir?
This is Emmanuel P. Johnson calling from Mount Barclay.
Mount Barclay, what do you know about the MVTC? And let's hear you.
Well, I know a lot about the MPDC. First of all, I will try to appreciate them and appreciate the guests in studio. But the issue here about the MPDC, I heard him making emphasis to all the other departments, but I didn't hear him about the public department. And that's one of the key departments that one of my friends graduated from there in that department, and he making headway in his career that he learned from there.
So you
I really want to,
you said
that's my interest.
You said the plumbing department, right?
Yeah, the plumbing department. And secondly, the entry. Would there be any entry in recent?
Okay, yeah, I think you talk about it. He said in a week's time, but he will respond to it. This other person. Hello. What's your name, sir? Where do you join us from?
I'm Yakun Darius. I join you from the Japanese Freeway, precisely the Chicostan belt.
Chicostan, close to MVTC. Let's hear you.
Sure. Thank you. Let me appreciate your studio guest, firstly. And second thing I would like to say is that the issue of, it's particular to electricity, the issue of electricity is boiled down to two different segments. We have the industrial one and that residential one. But I only hear him making reference of the industrial one. That is to say, an example is that of LEC. And I have a friend who's graduating from the electricity department, for which he was like trying to just brushing up on other issues concerning his department. But then I noticed that there were too many couple of issues he was referencing, for which it drew my attention that the NVC need to put more time in improving the electricity department. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll leave it right there. Let's take this other person. They are giving their views.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir. Let's hear you.
How are you doing, sir?
We are great, my brother.
My name is J.R., one of the outgoing students of NVC.
One of the outgoing students. Which area?
So the electricity department.
Electricity department. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Honestly, honest. You gotta make a mistake in that area, in that cycle. Like you said, every year material for the student and then tools. Yeah, this one travel students travel to a lot of challenges in the electricity department.
Okay.
We borrow material, we borrow tools. Yeah, for the cycle.
So you said the minister promised you guys from the mechanical department or the electricity
department. In fact,
so you guys had to provide your own tools to work with. Were there not tools from the institution at all at any of your practice sessions?
At all, there were no tools and there was no material. We provide both actually electricity department.
Apart from you providing the materials for the process, what about the lectures that were provided by the instructors? Were they lectures that you can survive on tomorrow besides you buying your own spanner or your own flyer?
No, the lecture is 100%.
Okay.
100%. There's no nothing to say about it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, my brother. Okay. Thank you. The lectures, according to him, 100%. They can live by all of what they've learned. The only thing is that they bought their own plier and spanner. This person, 1 minute, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Chief. You're calling from Dubai, Mohammed Kamara. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me first of all commend your studio guest.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I really want for the government or MVTC to carry on that it will be compulsory is that then they take MVTC to the various school from 10th grade to 12th grade. In that period, you must have to learn things before you graduate. I think that would be preferable. From 10th grade to 12th grade is 3 years process. You will learn it in that 3 years. But you say everybody will graduate and go to MVTC. MVTC now has that capacity. They don't have to. Then they go to the various high school, whether the private school, then they do this thing from 10th grade to 12th grade. Somebody will learn something. That's now when you graduate, no need you go to MVTC again. At least then they try that thing. Because people are standing back to go to MVTC. Look at the 12th grade that are coming out. They want to go there. So then they start from 10th grade to 12th grade. Then the process will be minimal to them. And then they carry on in the entire country. It should not only be based in Morovia. And everything should have the same credential.
Thank you very much. Thank you from Dubai. We leave you right there. Let's come back to Liberia and take this other person. Go ahead. Let's hear you. What's the name?
Good evening. Okay.
Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you, sir.
Let me say good evening to the Wagaholic Director in presence of Ali Kemukai.
Go ahead.
My name is Akitopo. And I do join you for my Dole community residents.
Go ahead.
Let me say 1 year anniversary to Mr. Kemukai. Like the food caller said about the electricity department in terms of equipment. When Mr. Kemukai took over, some of the communication that he sent to Eagle, the first area that received supply was the electricity department, where they get a socket, they get a wire, then in other department. They carry in the golf, they have sophisticated instructors. They taught all them that people from the mechanical department were still waiting. When it comes to leadership, since Mr. Kemukai went at NVDC, the collaboration with instructors, with students, they call him, they talk and do. No mistake, and go on the campus on the 29th for the graduation, you will see the drawers of the students tell you that since the formation of NVDC in 1978, there's the only director that was not present when other people went there, like to get the documents, they don't receive documents.
Okay.
The only director that went and printed everybody's documents. They come for your document, that will solve document issue. Some people went and reason that received the document, they draw it as him, they celebrated him, they even taking to say that no time you should be removed from NVDC again.
Okay, we leave that conversation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Archie. We'll leave you. We'll take 2 more, then we go to the director for his parting comments. You are the second to the last person. What's your name?
Yeah, how are you?
We are great, Chief.
How are you?
We are great. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Lauren Nangwe from Kesari Boulevard.
Kesali Boulevard. Go ahead, Nangwe.
Yeah, I want to say thank you to my director in studio there, Aliyu Kemukai. And I'm one of the students that will be coming up on the 29th for the plumbing circle.
From the plumbing department. Thank you very much. On the 29th.
Yeah.
How was the process? Did you also buy your hacksaw blade to cut the pipes?
Sure. Well, in our director,
Oh, okay. But how about this director? Was the director able to provide some tools?
I didn't want to go back because the director is good.
We leave you.
Yeah, I didn't want to go back.
Okay. Thank you very much. We leave you. Let's take the last caller. Then we call you a day. This person, you are the last. Good evening, Chief. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I want to to the director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my name is Kwame Balo, calling for Simple Bridge.
Simple Bridge. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a graduate of everything. A pending graduate.
A pending graduate.
Yeah. I want to appreciate the director for all what there are so many things, but the time the director took over, there are now just our men put it to we the students. And at times, for finding it difficult, he has to struggle. The director took over, he moved the working out, and as of now, we are very far.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll leave you right there, and we'll go over to you, Mr. Director, for your parting comments. You heard the callers. A lot of them are acknowledging what you've done in 1 year, to salvage some of the situation in the area. Your parting comment.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to say thank you once more for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So if I may respond to 1 or 2 of the callers.
Quickly.
So September 16 is our entrance date, so you can make use of that. And plumbing is an integral part of NVDC. It's part of the building trade department. So for the different components under the electricity, we have residential, industrial, and solar panel. So if you're looking at our information sheet, we say students have to bring personal tools. It's a requirement. So if they ask you to bring hacksaw, it means it is part of your personal requirement. But the institution has its own training tools for staff that is used to train students. So you talk about NVDC going to schools. I mean, we started this publicity during the WAS examination. We visited several schools, informing people about the importance of TVET. So we have been reaching out to schools. So the electricity department, like I said, we are working with this partner called the RECD, the International Institute for Cooperation and Development.
Mm-hmm.
Our electricity shop, along with BWR, LOIC, Don Bosco, are being equipped with state-of-the-art equipment for training. So we are going to be doing industrial and solar. As a matter of fact, part of our collaboration with LEC, we are working on a project for a transmission and distribution. That lab has already been set up at NVDC. It's nearing conclusion. So there's more to come at NVDC. So I want to encourage parents and guardians and even young people, make your way at NVDC get the information sheet because there are training opportunities available that can make your life different.
Okay.
So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. His name is Mr. Aliu Lee Kemokai. He's the director there at the Monrovia Vocational Training Center. The graduation is coming up at the end of this month. Until we return on tomorrow, it has been a kind Oliver Kind presentation. Abraham Kamara, DJ Hero Sada controls and produce this edition. Until we meet on tomorrow, have a wonderful time. God bless you. Bye-bye.
The people bringing safety to your door.